know, when a youngster makes up his mind to sign with an Auburn or a Florida State, it's nights like this that help him make that decision. Two members of the nation's top 10, a game with national title hopes on the line. It's the 7th-ranked Seminoles against the 5th-ranked Tigers. It's a Saturday of survival for two teams with designs on a college football championship. Over the last 3 seasons, no team has come closer to a national title than Florida State. In 1990, Bobby Bowden's Seminoles are knocking on the door again. The Pat Dye decade at Auburn has been one of sheer excellence, but now the Tigers hope to finally claw their way to the top. Both teams have suffered a jolt on the road to #1. Now nothing less than perfection will do, or the journey comes to an end. Hello, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin, and welcome into an absolutely super college football night again here on ESPN. With the games we've been having on the Saturday night primetime telecast, it kind of reminds me of the old radio broadcaster that used to cup his hand over his ear and say, and the hits just keep on coming, because that's the way it's been, and tonight should be no exception. We've got two clubs that were dominant in the decade of the 80s, but the one thing that eluded both of these ball clubs was a national championship. Gary Danielson joins me again on the telecast tonight. And Gary, by golly, what's going to happen is whoever loses this tonight is going to be saying, get them next year as far as the national title.
No doubt about it, Ron. You know, Florida State, though, a little younger, and I think they'll be a better football team next year than they are this year. But they were shocked into reality last week when they faced Miami. And really the feeling down at Florida State was they lost a little poise, and Bobby Bowden took care of that. Looks to me like he's looking for a couple guys to step forward and be the couple leaders, and he's going to need more than just a couple if he can do it in this place tonight down here in Auburn.
You know, one of the things, leadership is not a problem for Auburn University. They have senior people in key positions, and one of the things for the Seminoles is they have some young people in some key positions.
Well, this Auburn team, a lot of veterans, good senior leadership. They've won 3 straight SEC championships. But the word down here all week is they don't remember that. They remember losing 3 state times to Florida State. And in the back of their mind, they remember the end of last game when they were taunted a bit. And they will be very focused, and they'll be ready to lay some leather on everybody tonight.
Well, it is the 2nd year of a 10-year contract between these two clubs. There he is, the head of the Road Warriors, Bobby Bowden. His road record, 58 wins, 67, almost 68% since coming to Tallahassee, Florida as the head coach. And on the other side of the field, the former Georgia Bulldog in his 10th year, now with Auburn, 85, 25-3, a winning percentage, 76.8. They are standing at Jordan-Hare. And for a goodly part of the evening, don't be surprised if they never sit. Florida State will kick off to Auburn. Richie Andrews, a senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 5'11", 165 pounds. Herbert Casey, Alex Smith, and Pedro Cherry are the 3 deep men for the Auburn Tigers. Casey, number 20, in the middle. He is a sophomore from Foley, Alabama, averaging almost 28 yards per return. Tickets in this stadium for the students is first come, first served. 2.5 hours ago, when the gates were opened, they came storming in, and they have not been sitting and not quiet since. Here's the kickoff. And now for tonight's die-hard starting lineup. At quarterback, the redshirt freshman from Birmingham, Stan White. Tony Richardson, also a freshman, and James Joseph, the running backs. The wide receivers, Greg Taylor and Shane Wasden. The tight end is Victor Hall. Up front, and they're good ones, all of them. Bob Meeks is the center. The 2 guards, All-American Ed King and Tim Tillman. The tackles, Wayne Gandy and Rob Selby. White throws on first down, has Wasden complete at the 26. Defensively, the starters for Florida State: Joe Ostazuski at nose guard. The tackles are McIntosh and Troy Sanders. The outside backers, Anthony Moss and Howard Dinkins. Marvin Jones, he is a great young freshman, and Kirk Carruthers, the inside backers. At the corners, Errol McCorvey and Terrell Buckley. And Bill Reagans and John Davis are the safeties. Greg Taylor to the 28-yard line. Well, I have to say I'm a tad surprised that Auburn comes out throwing the football. They haven't tested run at all, have they?
The word was all week by all the experts that are supposed to say it was, well, they'll come out and just try to run. Miami ran for over almost 350 yards the last game. Florida State teed it up, and all of a sudden Auburn comes out, throws 2 passes.
That's that old thing when you got a good horse riding.
He loves Stan White.
Draw play to Joseph, puts a head down, and with that, still not going to have the first down. It's Kirk Carruthers, who he challenged and did not win.
One of the things I don't think Pat Dye wants to do, he'd like to open up this ball game, but I don't think he wants to make an early mistake and give the game to Florida State. That was 3rd and long. He called a little bit of a conservative play, a draw. He'll punt the ball and see the way Florida State wants to handle it.
Richie Nell with his 18th punt of the season. Florida State had pressure on him. This is Buckley. Fair catch at the 24-yard line. The starters for the Seminoles: Brad Johnson out of Black Mountain, North Carolina, quarterback. He'll have Amp Lee and Edgar Bennett behind him at the running back spots. Shannon Baker and Lawrence Dawsey, the wide receivers. The tight end, Dave Roberts. Up front, Robbie Baker is the center. The guards, Hayward Haynes and Robert Stevenson, and the tackles, Reggie Dixon and Kevin Mancini. Virtually the same offensive group that started against Auburn last year. Edgar Bennett, and boy, does he get whacked down by Crawford and also Ramsey. Here are the starters for the Tigers defensively. Walter Tate is the nose guard. The defensive tackles, Fernando Harn is starting tonight along with David Rocker. Larry Young and Ricky Sutton, the outside backers. At the inside, Harrigan Cunningham and Darrell Crawford. The cornerbacks, Eric Ramsey and Corey Barlow. The safeties, Dennis Wallace and John Wiley. Did it again as Florida State keeps the ball on the ground, and the junior out of Jacksonville takes it forward to around the 32. Cunningham and Tate combining.
Florida State is trying to be a little bit more diversified in their attack. They're trying to get it to their backs, to their tight ends. One of the things that Wayne Hall, defensive coordinator for Auburn, said, though, is they're throwing a little bit more than usual. He suspected they would change up for them, though, and try to run the ball, and he's right so far.
Seminoles need 2. Bennett very close. I don't think he got it. Barlow is the man who made the really fine one-on-one hit in the flat, and from where they've marked it, he'll miss it by a half yard.
This was 3rd and short, Ron, and what Florida State tried to do was to take this man right here, the tight end, and come in and pick for the fullback out into the flat. Watch the play. He'll come in and pick. Watch him get in the way. But the other pursuit, Auburn was in a zone and got away with a good defensive call.
Scotty McLaren, sophomore from Griffin, Georgia. This punt's not going to turn over. In fact, a tough one to catch, and a free fair catch is made by Shane Wasden. No score. Just over 7 minutes to play in this first quarter. Florida State and Auburn, no score. Just over 7 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Well, the Road Warriors, we talked about the record under Bobby Bowden: 5-1 at LSU, 4-2 at Nebraska, 2-0 at Ohio State, 1-0 at Notre Dame.
And of course, when Bobby came to Tallahassee, it was a situation where he was trying to get a program going.
He actually
look at this. More games he has played away than at home. 83% at home, 68% on the road. Richardson gets the handoff and immediately gets Marvin Jones.
Yes, who?
Boy. Florida State defensively before Miami, 117 yards a game versus Miami, 344 as far as the rush. Zips it over the middle, incomplete. Wanted Victor Hall. Florida State stands to get really good field position out of this, unless Richie Nell can boom one.
Well, Stan White is just a beauty to watch throw the ball. He gets it out of his hand so quickly. When you say zip, I think that's perfectly how he throws it. That's just how it looks. It's just zip, it's gone. That time, though, he threw it so hard. The tight end was only about 5 or 6 yards away that there was no time to react to it.
Well, you see the numbers on Buckley. You don't want to give him too much of a line drive kick, or he can do something with it in a hurry. This is a good coverage kick. Very high, wobbly spiral. And the ball is fumbled, and Baxter recovers for Auburn at the 45. Make it Al Nash, number 58, rather than 85.
When we talked to the Florida State coaches, they wanted to get out of this first quarter without a big turnover, and already it's happened. I mean, he just flat out dropped it. It was great coverage, but it was a high kick. Just very routine. He just went right through his hands.
Baxter did get on it first, but it looks as though Nash has been given credit for the recovery. Danley finds a crease and takes it down close to the 40-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5.5, maybe 6. Marvin Jones tripped him up.
You can see it in his eyes. I mean, the intensity's there. There's no hype. There's no cheering. He expects to gain 5 or 6 yards. He's patient. He runs through it. He makes the play happen. He gets what he expects out of the play.
Now, he's been injured during the early part of the season. Finally, almost 100%. They use him again, and it's close to the Auburn first down at the Florida State 36. Marvin Jones is going for double figures in the first quarter, and we have a marker.
Personal foul. Personal foul. Defense. Automatic first down.
You're right. When he was yelling at his players, it wasn't excellent. Here's the replay right here. Greg Taylor, if you play for Auburn, you got to go down and block. And I'm sorry, that's the way it is in big-time football. Guys are going to throw at you. He didn't hurt you. He's got to step on him. That's silly. Very silly.
Danley breaks up one tackle, fighting his way, still on his feet inside the 15.
Boy, Danley takes this one in here. This is such an emotional lift for your teammates. When you take it up inside, the line's just coming up. That's coming across. They just a little trap block, and he just hits the hole. And he keeps those legs and feet moving, and he runs and he pushes, and he doesn't wait for a whistle. He just keeps running. What effort. The whole bench just exploded on the play.
That's 4 carries for him for 23. It is a second down as Joseph comes back in. Auburn needs 4. Richardson at the 5.5-yard line. Buckley pushes him out.
Tony Richardson, the fullback, is another true freshman, and he bounces this one outside. Keeps his hands up. Look at him shift the ball over so he can straight arm right there. That's a freshman doing that. That's a well-coached football player shifting it so he can take care of his hands.
If 62 Troy Sanders had not tripped him up, he would have turned the corner sooner. He might have gotten to the end zone.
He would have been full speed quicker. You're right, Ron.
Richardson, he'll score. is a freshman from Dalyville, Alabama. It's his 3rd touchdown. John Bonwell sends it right down Broadway, and it's Auburn 7-0.
Pat Dye comes right back to the freshman back right here. Turns, spins, nothing fancy about this. Good block there by the tight end, Fred Baxter. They like that guy, only a sophomore, and he just walks into the end zone.
So with 3:34 left in the opening period, the Tigers strike first. Auburn takes advantage of the turnover. They go on top, 7-0. Gary?
Ron, every time a ball is run near the goal line, someone comes up with a good block. This time it's the reserve tight end Fred Baxter. He's going to seal it in here and allow Richardson to bounce it outside for the touchdown. That's what you got to get on the goal line. You got to get somebody. This time Richardson lines up in the backfield and makes the key block and just walk into the end.
Kickoff taken by Baker, and a flag comes down as he was hit very close to the sideline at the 27. Good heavens. I hate the soap bill on that tomorrow. You know, the 2 freshmen tonight, we talked so much about the youngster from Florida State, Marvin Jones, and we see Richardson here, also a freshman fresh out of high school. As it complete to Dawsey, inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. Check it, it's Bennett, I beg your pardon, 22. What a great catch over the shoulder. That's good for 20 yards.
Left tackle Reggie Dixon picked up a nice stunt here. It allowed Casey Weldon the time to throw downfield. Watch him. He pops up and then he takes the man as they turn, as they switch. And he keeps his feet moving. This is called screen blocking. Here's the nice throw. He had some people open short, but he waited on the play. Oh, what a nice play. Turns around and catches the ball going away from his body.
Weldon has come back from under center because the clock has gone to 0-0, and that is the end of the first quarter with our score: Auburn 7 and Florida State 0. Back in Auburn, Alabama, 7-0. We have had 2 great games earlier today. Iowa upsets Michigan, winning by 1, and then in our second game of this triple header, as the clock ran out, Alabama winning over Tennessee to upset the number 3 ranked team in the nation. Pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Casey Weldon, he's a junior from Tallahassee. And one of the things that Bobby Bowden told us on Thursday as we visited with him on Thursday morning is that Casey continues to push as far as pressure on that on the starter, Brad Johnson.
Well, it's a lovely situation for a coach. I don't know if it's such a great deal for Brad Johnson, but you can feel when a guy's pushing you. You see it in practice. You can see the coach's eyes. I mean, they like what he's doing. It's a very tough situation, you know, and Brad gets off to a tough start and he makes the change.
Breaks it across the 25, and he's down to the 23. That's more than enough for the Seminole first down. Last year, he rushed for over 100 against Auburn.
Nice job here by Howard Haynes, Reggie Dixon, and Bobby Blake, the center, left guard, and left tackle. But watch Amp Lee, how he runs low and his eyes are moving. He says he's got great peripheral vision. He sees the field, keeps his knees moving. Nothing real flashy about it, just a lot of positive yards.
5 carries for him for 27 yards. Weldon rolling the pocket, throws it complete at the 20-yard line, and still on his feet is Dawsey, all the way down to the 18-yard line. Walter Tate finally finishes it.
Little sprint out action by Casey Weldon here. Comes out of the pocket and throws very nicely on the run. But it's Lawrence Dawsey that makes the play. Watch him run down. He stretches, turns inside, but watch him come back and make the play right on the sideline. Beautiful throw. And now this is what Dawsey can get you. Extra yards. He keeps running. He just doesn't go down like one of those little spindly wide receivers. He wants to make yards. The last of the Fab 4 wide receivers, and he came
160
back.
yards against Miami last week, or 2 weeks ago. Going to run, breaks off a tackle, and he will have the first down at the 10-yard line.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yep, make a little fist action right there. I'm here. I'm ready to play. And what Casey Weldon also gives him, Ron, is he's 4'6", 40. Brad does not run like him. Little play action pass, nobody's there. He knows he needs about 6 yards, and he takes it up. No time for sliding now. That's in the pros. He's got to turn and run, stiff arm, climb, dive, get up, shake. Yeah.
John Wiley, number 9, is the man who finished it. They're going to run the reverse with Baker. Stretches it out. He's playing into Auburn's hands and still picks up 4.
Well, Shannon Baker, it looked like it was wide open for a second, but Corey Barlow, I tell you, he's a little embarrassed about the whole deal because he ran right back to him from behind here now. Nice little action, good fake. The line sells it up front, and here he comes. Look at all that green grass. The problem is, here's Corey Barlow. Come on, Corey, turn him in.
Cunningham finished him off.
A little bit of a stiff arm. He pushes him by with his hand. Whoa, that's embarrassing. Never like that. If you're a DB, you're talking. You want to hit people. You don't want to fall down.
Weldon wants Bennett. Finds nobody. Roberts is the intended receiver. He wanted Bennett in the corner of the end zone.
Nice job by Casey again. Threw it out of there. Let's have a chance at least at third down play. A little bit of a mix-up on the pattern, though. Roberts and Reggie Johnson, both tight ends, were in the same area. Had one of them cleared out a little bit, he might have had somebody to throw the ball to.
So the situation, 7-0 ball game, as Casey Weldon 2 of 4, 29 yards. Auburn leads 7-0, and the Seminoles with the 3rd and goal, 5.5 yards away. Quick pass, incomplete as it hit Dossie in the hands, and he got bumped and he couldn't hold on.
This is the same play, Ron, that they scored against Miami with. They're going to bring Dossie underneath it, a la Jerry Rice from the San Francisco 49ers, and I have to hit him here. But look at all the traffic on this throw. He hit him all right, but there was a lot of people there, very crowded.
Richie Andrews, 6 of 7 in field goal attempts this year. And from 22 yards, he nails it. So Florida State on the scoreboard with 12:02 left until halftime. Ron Franklin, Gary Danielson, and Kevin Kiley. And it's wonderful to have you along on this Saturday night, the 3rd Saturday in October. And as I mentioned, not only the 2 great games that we had earlier today, the upsets continued as Miami was bumped by Notre Dame today.
Well, Miami now is going to drop out of the national picture, and up steps Notre Dame again. You know, there's no doubt about that. Here they are. You think they're getting rid of them. They still have a tough schedule, but now at least they can control it themselves.
Richie Andrews, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, kicks it away. Pedro Cherry collides with Casey. Cherry winds up with it. Breaks by one tackler, and he'll bring it out to the 23-yard line. Keith Jones defensively. So this rolls the pocket, almost intercepted at the 38-yard line. John White almost came up with it, the senior from Thomasville, Georgia.
There was the case again. Stan just believes in his arm. He throws the ball. He just thinks he can get the ball in those little spots. I like that, though, on a quarterback. I mean, you've got to live with a couple mistakes. Otherwise, this guy's not going to win it for you at the end of the game, and he did it against Tennessee.
Leading the Southeastern Conference in total offense, 225 yards per game. And Gary, let me ask you a question. The underneath coverage is trying to play some tricks with him, aren't they?
Well, I think that's the way you stop a good passer. Stan has to be a little more patient.
Pressure right up the middle as they set screen. Joseph across the 26 to the 27, and it is not going to be nearly enough for the first down as Errol McCorvey defensively makes the play for the Seminoles.
Again, a situation where they weren't going to trust Stan with the ball. A little screen pass, the chances of picking up 10, 12 yards on 3rd and 12. You know the other team's playing zone is not very good. They just wanted to punt the ball.
4th punt for Nell tonight. Across the 30 to the 33-34. Alex Thomas defensively on the special teams is there to make the stop. Play action by Weldon under all kind of pressure, but gets by it. Drills it complete to Baker. Caught inside the 35-yard line.
Hayward Haynes is matched up here against David Rocker, the All-American from Auburn. Watch him move his feet, keep his butt in. But watch Casey Weldon move up in the pocket. And he isn't just satisfied now with dumping it off to one of these guys. He fires it, rockets it downfield. And look at that throw, right on the outside shoulder. Boy, that's nice. That's making something happen as a quarterback. You're real happy. You feel great now.
3 of 6, 50 yards for Weldon. That was Eric Ramsey who gambled and went for the interception. Lee to the 24-yard line. Ramsey comes from that left cornerback spot to make the tackle, and all of a sudden, because of the mobility of Casey Weldon and the passing game improving, the running game all of a sudden has come alive.
One of the things Bobby Bowden said he was going to keep an eye on is plays that went for more than 4 yards when he runs the ball. Look at this. 9 out of 11 running plays have gone for more than 4 yards. That's bad news for the Auburn defense.
Short drop this time. Baker on the quick post, and he is inside the 15 to the 13. First down, Seminoles.
A lot of the alumni for Florida State was kind of questioning Bobby Bowden. Why are you playing the two quarterbacks in some of these early games? And he said he wanted to have both of them ready just for a game like this. And you could just see Casey Weldon. He just feels it. The ball's coming out of his hand. He's not hesitating. He's going with his reads, and he's just delivering it. Actually looks like the Florida State offense from past years now, throwing the ball downfield instead of a short middle stuff.
Seems like 11 in sync. You're right. Weldon still looking. He's just going to take it all the way to the corner, get what he can, and he's out of bounds at the 11. Cunningham was the closest man to it. Stopping the clock with 8:07 until halftime. 7-3 ball game. Auburn leading by 4. Florida State threatening.
Even though Casey Weldon made this look like a pass, this was run all the way. Look at the receivers. You can't catch the ball if you don't look back. There's Dawsey downfield throwing some block. Dawsey will hit you all night. A very aggressive player. It's a play in the playbook that they have for Casey Weldon.
To the 1-foot line. Darrell Crawford is down at the bottom of that stack someplace.
There you look at it as a linebacker. This is the problem. Nice block by Bennett here. Fullback gets his hat on somebody and opens up the whole little isolation play. Florida State's run this. On this play, look at it, just short of the first down.
Clock is just back whistled in. Auburn 7-3, and the Seminoles with a first and goal a half yard away. Lee, touchdown Florida State. Bennett, I beg your pardon, 22 rather than 42, and Bennett puts the Seminoles on top. Edgar Bennett, his 5th touchdown of the season, his 2nd rushing. He has 3 receiving passes. Richie Andrews knocks the extra point home, and the Florida State Seminoles on top by 3.
Well, Bennett gets the touchdown, but credit to the offensive line. Look at him get down. Get down where the worms go and just keep the feet moving. If you could keep those feet moving through into the end zone, what you got to do as an offensive lineman is score yourself. Put your own stomach in the end zone, and you can get a touchdown.
Edgar Bennett gets his 5th touchdown of the year, and it is 10-7 Florida State with just over 7 minutes left to play until halftime. Richie Andrews prepares to kick it off. Number 20, Herbert Casey, sophomore from Foley, Alabama. He's the deep man for the Auburn Tigers. And right now the momentum has shifted from what was a very strong momentum from Auburn early in the ball game over to the visitors from Tallahassee. Casey from the 12. Got a big opening. And the kicker, Andrews, submarined and knocks him down shy of the 50.
It was very high and short, and usually you don't get a great return on this. Look, he's going to catch this ball, what, about a 13-yard line and real high. But look at that one. I could run through that one right there. And he kind of rushes it. He was a little patient right here. It looks like he almost gets too close to the block. He had an opportunity for another 8-10 yards.
40 yards officially on the return, and Auburn comes right back with great field position. Joseph straight ahead, and he takes some people with him as he goes inside the 45 to the 42. James, the senior out of Phoenix City, not too far from here, 6'2", 225 pounds.
If you just look right there at the Miami University game plan that they used against Florida State for all those yards. Split them wide, run to the weak side of the formation, right at Kirk Crothers, and run hard. And just get that guard on him and just hit the hole full speed. Look at that, 5 yards.
97 to 9 total yards this quarter. This time only about a yard in the play. 10-7. Florida State leads. Just over 6 to play till halftime as Danley is coming the ball game, gets the call, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down at the 40 as Corian Freeman made the tackle. And instantly the special teams come on, and I don't mean the field goal unit because they're far out of range, and Richie Nell will have to punt it away. Very high kick. Buckley running toward it and makes the catch at the 21-yard line.
Well, Auburn's offensive wheels have just fallen off, and this Florida State defense, you see number 45, Kirk Crothers, on the right side of the screen right there. And Stan White is only 4 for 8 for 1 interception for 18 yards passing with 5 minutes left to go in the half. That is not the idea for a good game.
Weldon has come in. He's 4 of 7, 62 yards. They give it to Bennett straight ahead. Darrell Crawford, who was injured a moment ago, back in the ball game, and he's there defensively for the Auburn Tigers. Now let's talk about what Auburn has to do here, because I mentioned the fact that momentum seems to have shifted toward Florida State at this juncture.
Well, defensively, they have to find a way to corral Welburn now. He's given them a different look that they weren't ready for. Pat Dye has to get his guys tackling. They have to not let this guy get out of the pocket, because you can see what he's done. A couple big plays by getting out of the pocket and making something big downfield happen.
The backfield, good for the first down and about 7 more.
Wow, that was nice. There he's taking a shot. Wayne Hall, the great defensive line coach for Auburn. It's turned out so many All-Americans right here at Auburn University. He's calling the shots. He has all the stats, all the tendencies, and he's trying to play with Bobby Bowden right now. What is he going to do? And it's hard to stay up with Bobby. I mean, he may call anything.
Auburn trailing Florida State by 3. Sets middle screen. Ampley needs 1 block, and he's off to the races. He's going to score. His 6th touchdown of the year, his first passing. The rest have come on the ground. What a nice job by Casey Weldon of waiting until the last possible moment to get that one off.
Really nice job of faking the ball to Amp Lee and a lot of nice patience to wait for him to get open. You're exactly right. Nobody gave away the screen too early, and that's the key to running a good screen. This is a staple of their offense. They either hand the ball to the tailback, they fake the ball to the tailback and throw downfield, and now the other thing they do off of it from the other side of the field is they fake to the, look downfield now, take your time, and then float it in there for the screen pass. Oh man, that's so nice. Got two big guys out in front of you running, you just use your blockers and run. And Amp showed me something there. I mean, they said he wasn't a sprinter, but he just ran away from some people there.
I don't know if it's the way Florida State sets it up or if it is Amp Lee, but watch, you saw him catch the ball on the run. So many backs catch it dead still and then have to start.
Perfect job of running the screen. If you catch it stopped, you have to regain momentum. Fire downfield. These guys work. Screen block, that's all you do. Stay in front of somebody. Then the runner can cut off of you. And Ron, I mean, you're exactly right in what you say, and that's a perfect coaching point. So many screens, a guy catches, he's just standing there, and everybody else is moving. And it's, you know, it's hard to start up. He was really under control, hit a little bit, and then got out in the play.
So Tim Brando will be coming up at a halftime to bring us up to date on what has happened in college football today. But right now, let's take a break. Florida State leads by 10.
17-7 our score here at halftime, and one thing that David Housel of Pat Dye neither wants to see, and that is Tiger on the menu. So far, that has been it in the first 30 minutes. Just a moment ago, Kevin Kiley had a chance to talk with head coach Pat Dye.
Thank you very much, Ron. I'm down here on the sideline with Coach Pat Dye. Coach, the Tennessee game, at halftime you trailed. You said you had to pull the guys out of the dumps. What'd you tell them now?
Well, the Tennessee game was a lot different than tonight. I thought in the Tennessee game, you know, we controlled the ball 20 minutes in the first half. Florida State dominated the second quarter of the ball game, and I mean, on both sides of the football, they kept the ball away from us on offense. We didn't ever stop them, and that defense, I don't know if we made a first down till right before the half, maybe.
What'd you tell the kids?
I guess it's not a lot. We can't, you know, you can't change your game plan. I mean, it's obvious that we got to play harder and play better. To me, the big difference in Florida State's first half is when they put Weldon in their quarterback, and he made some nice plays for him. He scrambled a couple of times and kept them alive, but we didn't play very well defensively in the first half, or offensively either.
All right, have a good second half, Coach. All right, Ron, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. The difference has been Casey Weldon, 70% passing in the first half.
7 for 10, but it's the other things he did. It was his ability to get out of the pocket and create some big plays that Brad Johnson can't do yet. I mean, look at little play action. That's the staple. Everything starts off of that. Then he avoids the rush, and he looks downfield, and that's what he does so well. Look at that nice throw right on the shoulder. And there it is, a big play. And that opened up the running game and everything else, able to throw the screen and really got the offense going.
The other thing that impressed me, Florida State, I think, has surprised Auburn tonight with their ability defensively, particularly against the run.
Well, their inability, Auburn's inability to run, to throw the ball effectively. Stan White at halftime was only 5-9, meant that Florida State could load up on the defense, and their front three was able to stop that running game and made it look stats like this at halftime. 17-7 to score. Look at that, 4 first downs, and as Pat Dye said, one of them was right at the end of the half when they were going 2 minutes and Florida State was back. Passing yards for Auburn, 24 yards, and total yards for the half, 226 yards for Florida State. That's just too much. Ron?
Thanks so much. And of course, that figure in the passing, the fact that Auburn has been averaging 289 yards a ball game throwing. But you all know what happened 2 weeks ago here against Tennessee as far as a second half comeback. We'll see if it's in the cards tonight. Florida State holding to the momentum right now, but they'll get the football. Shannon Baker can't field that one, so Florida State will go from their 20-yard line. Screen, and this time the blockers are right there. Lee shoved out of bounds at the 37.
Well, I mean, this is a play we've been seeing. What's this, third or fourth time we've seen it tonight? Works a lot better when the linemen go to the same side as the back, I have to say. But Amp Lee just picks his way and follows the blockers and just picks up those positive yards. Here it is, off the play action. Remember, they run that play a lot. Weldon works on it, retreats, and throws it. A little bit behind him this time, but he runs right by the block. But watch how he sets up the block right. Oh, is that nice. Uses people down the field. That's great running, to use the people. Don't just plow through there, use them.
Bennett goes for 3 and it gets banged very hard, knocked out of bounds across the way by Mike Campbell. And one of the few times that you'll see, or we have seen tonight, Florida State in split backs rather than I formation.
Split backs, and then what they run is a little sweep action to the weak side, but they like to run the short side of the field. They want to do it even if it doesn't pick up a lot of yards so they can throw out of it occasionally. They don't want it just a formation where it's just all pass.
Bobby Bowden, things didn't look so good for his ball club early, but they have really grabbed the momentum. The rock on the spot, and you can see that Amp Lee lost yardage in the play, and Auburn stands to get good field position. Wimberly, let's see if he can duplicate what he did his last time out, which was 45, and he made better it. All the way back to the 28. Shane will take it across the 35 and close to the 40. Keith Jones on the special teams. Florida State leading by 10. Turns the corner and he can burn it down to the 34.
The Electron lights it up a little bit for him. He played as a true freshman last year, just a sophomore, 5'9", 200 pounds, and he gives him a great change of pace out of the backfield. Coach Larry Blakely said he'd like to play him a little bit more, but he has to work on his blocking in the passes and catching the ball. But he, when he has the ball in his hands, is a threat and a real good offensive weapon. It's when he doesn't have the ball is the problem.
Play in the 3rd and 5, and Williams will have the first down. He gets belted down hard by DeAndre Clark.
Nice call here, little option play. Stan comes out, quick pitch. There was a pitch all the way, but watch a nice cutback right here, right? Boop, give the fake it, cut back. Very nice. Little hold on Kirk Crothers on the left side of your screen, but whoa. Tillman here is going to come out and push it, put one right on Marvin Jones, spins around. Look at, he still spins and has the presence to get his arm out there. Good job by Marvin Jones, even though he does get blocked.
Williams hit in the backfield and knocked down for a loss by Howard Dinkins. Howard has played well this year, but tonight has been playing as kind of a backup, as some of his teammates have been there ahead of him.
We haven't heard his name a lot. You're right so far. Right then again, a little stumble. I mean, it's Auburn causing a lot of their own problems themselves. He catches it, he stumbles, and then, of course, all the timing is thrown up all to the wall.
Williams comes out. James Joseph checks in. It is a 2nd down for the Tigers at about 13. Herbert Casey was the closest guy to it. You have to say he was the intended receiver. Larry Blakely, the gentleman bobbing in and out of your picture.
Without the hat is Larry right there. Here you go.
They call it offense by committee at Auburn. With Pat Sullivan, this gentleman, and also Pat Pye.
The play was good. It was a good call. He just threw it high again.
It is 3rd down. They need the 13-yard line. White over the middle, complete to Joseph at the 20, and he will be short of the first down by about 7 yards.
All right, a lot of people say, why throw the ball like that when you can't get a first down? They're thinking field goal right here. Remember, they're only down by 10 points. They put it in the middle of the field. They got enough to feel comfortable kicking the field goal. That's only his second
completion of the second half. 2 of 9 for a total of 9 yards. And 1 interception. That one made down at the 3-yard line by Fowler. Von Weil to attempt the field goal. He's 6 of 10. His longest is 48. And this is an attempt of 37. He splits it. Here in Auburn, Alabama, at a house that, well, with the exception of the second quarter when Florida State took them out of the ball game, and those people are standing up on the walkways. I guess they didn't like the seat that they had at the end zone or what have you, but 85,214, that's capacity. And well, if you're going to bring anybody else in, bring your own shoehorn. Chris Dickinson kicks off for Auburn. Baker watches this one go into the end zone, and Florida State will take it at the 20-yard line. Average gain on first down. Florida State 5.4 for Auburn 2.5. Short drop complete to Doss. He breaks off the tackle, and he will have the first down and move the sticks out over the 30. Dennis Wallace.
We talked about how important it is to make the tackle on these short passes. Here it is, little 5-6 yard quick out. The ball's a little bit high. Look at that, how he's just reacts to these plays and turns upfield. I love this guy after he gets the ball.
Senior from Dothan, Alabama. Set in the play action. Now Casey gonna run it. Out of bounds across the 40 to the 42-yard line, and it's Willis who was chasing him. And that is very close to another Florida State first down.
You know, that doesn't look like much, but those guys he's running against out there are some great athletes. And he's got 4.6 speed, and that's what makes that possible. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks look good running the ball, but put him out there with all the great athletes that Auburn has, and you look a little slow. Weldon looks right at home out there.
Besides all the noise from the crowd, we have a battle of the bands tonight. One plays, and then here comes the other.
Well, Florida State's an experienced band. They play all year long, so this is nothing new. Now, the Auburn band, they're just learning as the game goes on. Sometimes they even play after the snap.
Edgar Bennett brings it back in the other direction, close to the 50, as Corey Barlow will push him out of bounds. And all of you band enthusiasts who take exception, right, Gary, please, not me. I didn't say the Auburn band was inexperienced.
Well, they don't know how to play quite as well during the game. This Florida State band for years played like that.
17-10, Florida State on top as we have less than a minute in this third quarter. Big drive for the Seminoles after Auburn comes down against the field goal to cut it to 7. Weldon drills it to Baker, and that's enough for the Florida State first down. The sophomore from Lakeland is tackled by Corey Barlow.
Again, Baker goes just beyond the first down line, and Weldon puts it right there. Good timing. They're in sync tonight with this passing game. There's no doubt about it.
Matt Fryer, freshman from Live Oak, Florida, comes in replacing Shannon Baker.
Fryer has been starting so far this year, the freshman, and Baker got the call tonight, and both of them have a lot of confidence in both players. Maybe one, and that's it. Ricky Sutton was the first man to come across and make contact.
And that probably is the last play of the third period. Florida State certainly doesn't want to rush it up and try to run a play. And that'll do it as we're about to head to the final 15 minutes of action with the Seminoles leading by 7. Fourth quarter here in Auburn, Alabama. And it's Florida State on top by a touchdown. We have not seen the leading tackler since back in the first half of the Auburn Tigers, Cunningham, and we'll get an update on that for you shortly. Weldon zips it out to Lee, and what a great open field tackle by Ramsey. Let's go to Kevin Kiley for this update.
Ron, the Auburn defense certainly could use their leading tackler, number 47, Carrican Cunningham. He's behind this fella in the plaid shirt. They've worked feverishly on him most of the game. Has cramps in the hamstrings. He has not been able to go back in the game, and I know it's hurting the Tiger defense. Back to you.
Thanks, Kev. You might remember back in the first half as he was chasing Casey Weldon to the far side of the field. That's when he limped off, and now they're walking him to the Auburn locker room. They went with the Ruski. Left it on the ground, and the ball may have been recovered by Auburn. It is Auburn football. Walter Tate.
Well, you gotta love the gambling nature of Bobby Bowden. They don't always work, but his kids love playing for him. Here it is, the Ruski. They're going to take the ball and lay it right underground here. All the action's going to be this way, and the guard's supposed to take it and run around here. They lay it on the ground, and the only guy that finds it is the guy from Auburn.
White's pass well overthrown. Terrell Buckley had the cover, but as much as anything, just looked like he threw that one away.
Well, that's why. You're right in the call. Buckley had him covered, had Taylor covered, and he just tossed it. Not a great night so far for Stan White. 9 for 23, 56 yards, and 3 to the guys in white.
Stacy Danley will come out. James Joseph will replace him. White has it complete to Herbert Casey, and that is enough for the Auburn first down in Florida State territory.
Well, White hung in there on this one. He waited and he waited. Look at those nice calm feet. He lets it go. A high again, but Casey goes up, lays out, and grabs it. Wow, what a big time catch by Casey.
Complete over the middle, Greg Taylor. But Carruthers was right there. Carruthers had reversed on him and had a face right in his face.
Florida State only brought 3 people that time, only rushed 3 on him and played the zone, and there was really no one to throw to. I'm a little concerned, though. Stan still throwing the ball high all night.
There's your score by quarters. The 17 unanswered by Florida State in the second quarter. The field goal by Auburn here in the third period. 17-10. White a little high again, and that will draw a flag. Leon Fowler hit him out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, Bobby Bowden is not hollering at the officials. He is hollering at his football team.
There you see Fowler, look at that, completely out of the play, no need to do it, puts the helmet in there too.
Well, in the forearm more than anything, but the
helmet right to the back of the head right there. You know, he probably, even if he doesn't, he hit him out of bounds anyway.
Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, just reading him the riot act. It is first down Auburn. New line of scrimmage, the Florida State 30.
Unbalanced line. I think this is a tackle eligible or what?
White's pass is to Herbert Casey. Breaks off the tackle, but it was enough momentum by John White to have pushed him back downfield, and that'll wind up as a gain of only 3. Now under 6 minutes to play.
It's not time for Stan White and the offense to be thinking about it, but somebody in that Auburn staff is thinking about what's our 2-point play if we get it in the end zone.
Breaks it up the middle, and he's close. Joe Ostazuski put the stopper on him, but let's see where they mark it. It's just inside the 21.
Going to come in with the short yardage play right here. They got 2 cracks at it. Going to bring the big boys in.
3rd down and just inches. Hall, Gray, and Baxter, all 3 tight ends of the ball game. Richardson breaks off the tackle.
Richardson scored on earlier to the left. Baxter gets the pin block right here, and he bounces outside. This guy just keeps running. He's just going to be a great back. And look at Danley come from behind the tailback to get it on the play.
And this time Richardson finds nothing.
What do? If you go for 2, that's the play right now. If you can get it in the end zone, it's a non-conference game. Ron, I say you got to go for 2.
I agree with you.
I think you do.
Right now, as far as Auburn is concerned, they want to put it in the end zone, but they don't care if it takes 4 downs to do it because the clock is now running at 4:03 and 4:02. They'd like to burn as much off there as they could.
If it was an SEC game, I could see tying it up, but this is for the national championship.
Sideline and held up 1 finger. Auburn will not go for the lead. They will go for the tie with 3:47 left to play.
Bit of motion, and look at those guys pushing them into the end zone. That's what you have to do down there. Just keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Ed King and Danley just takes it, jumps, and dives into the end zone to tie it up.
Stacy Danley scores, and his head coach had this reaction. Florida State 17, Auburn 17. I have seen this script someplace before, about 2 weeks ago.
Well, we've been leading up to it when it got to be a 7-point game. I mean, I say go for 2, though. But Coach Dye, he's had a lot of success over the years. He's got his own ideas. If he gets the ball back and they kick a field goal, they win. But if this game ends up tied 17-17, there's been a lot of people asking some questions why he didn't go for it.
Dickinson's kickoff is coming down to Shannon Baker. Baker out across the 25. Let's take a look at the top 10, and this is what has happened already today. Virginia won over Wake Forest. Miami lost to Notre Dame. Tennessee lost to Alabama. Nebraska won. Auburn, Florida State. Jury is still out. Notre Dame defeated Miami. Illinois won over Michigan State. Houston over SMU. And Michigan lost to Iowa at home. We're going to see quite a change in the top 10 come Monday. Dossie complete at the 40-yard line.
Wow, that was a nice throw right there. Both bands are playing. The 85,000 people are just as loud as you can get. Weldon drops back and rips it right into Dossie coming across. Here's the replay. Look at it. Got the ball high, checks up, throws, follows through, catches one in the mouth after he lets it go, and puts a strike right on Dossie. Well, they just have not been able to find a way to stop Dossie. This guy's just so tough as a wide receiver. He's just tough.
Clock running with 3:15 left in the ball game. Roberts over the middle, inside the 45, and he's down to the 41-yard line.
Wow, what a throw. I'll tell you, you don't think Bobby Bowden has a gambler's attitude. Fumble Ruski on 3rd down, 2nd and inches, and he comes back. Watch Weldon fit this one in. I mean, this is a rocket he throws. This guy's fairly well covered, and Roberts just gathered in. He knows he's going to get hit. What a play, what a call.
Dave working on his 2nd degree at Florida State. Academic All-American. And that guy right there, what do you say? I promise you, he will not play for a tie.
Well, he's got no choice right now.
Well, I know it, but if the shoe were on the other foot.
I agree. He's got him deep.
Overthrown inside the 20. It's Edgar Bennett, and they had worked him out of the backfield.
Oh, a nice play right there. The tight end crossed, and the back coming out of the backfield. The fullback, that's a San Francisco 49er play that you see every week with Roger Craig going deep like that.
Clock is stopped. 2:29 in the ball game. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left. It is 2nd down Florida State at the Auburn 42.
They got the matchup they wanted. The fullback on the middle linebacker, and just a little higher. He had nobody down there. There's no free safety or anything. Just a free throw for Weldon.
Auburn comes with a blitz in the play. Dossie breaks off 1 tackle, or gets away partially, and takes it to the 35. Mike Pena on the tackle. Another youngster out of Merritt Island, Florida.
You know, Dossie, it seems like he gets the ball more than the tailback does in an offense. I mean, they find ways to get the ball to their best player. I like that. They work very hard at saying, you know, it's hard to lead as a wide receiver, but this guy leads as a wide receiver. 8 catches. He had 13 last week, and 8 again, 2 weeks ago against Miami. He had 13 catches for 160 yards.
3rd down. They need the 32. Weldon fumbles, and he has his own recovery at the 36. He had the 1st down and had to retreat. Oh, my goodness.
Now what do? 4th down. Weldon escapes from 2 straitjacket holes. First of all, Rocker just, arm over beautifully. He's got him. And this is Tracy Rocker, an All-American. And look at him, go around him. Straight arm, and then you're right, he has a 1st down run, and he strips the ball. Number 27, Eric Ramsey. Oh, nice job coming back to get it. Think it's good. Pat Dye. Oh my God, I got him. Sack. No. Oh my God. 1st down. Another sack. Oh no. How can he make a 1st down?
Let's take a break. 70 seconds left. Tied at 17. Well, 2 weeks ago, Tennessee and Auburn battled to a 26-26 tie. Auburn was down by 10 in this one. Not as badly as they were to Tennessee, but they have battled back to tie it at 17. Florida State with a 4th down and 5. They have it at the 37-yard line. Sack, and here is the major point. He not only sacked him, he knocked him off balance, and because of that, Weldon lost 10 more yards.
From the left side of your screen, Ricky Sutton, number 92. He comes inside on a stunt, and then he hits him, and Weldon loses his balance and loses about another 8 yards, and they're almost in field goal position already.
From the 42-yard line of Florida State. And Florida State has just called a timeout.
Doesn't hurt them. They don't need timeouts now. They didn't have enough guys on the field.
Pat Dye crunches on ice. And Jim Von Weil is hoping that he can have some ice in his veins. He is 7 of 11 on the year. I would say that Auburn needs to pick up about 12 yards to put him within close to his comfort range. Option play by White. They'll have about 5. Kirk Carruthers, the junior from East Lansing, comes up defensively. And Stan White goes immediately to call another timeout. The Auburn Tigers had all 3 left, so they still have 2. Two timeouts for Auburn. Here's the scoring summary. They broke on top first. Tony Richardson, a 6-yard run, 7-0. That was back in the first quarter. Then the Seminoles unleashed quite a barrage in the second quarter. Richie Andrews with the field goal, then Edgar Bennett with a 1-yard touchdown. They went on top 10-7, and then Amp Lee, a screen pass from Weldon, 48 yards. But then Jim Von Weil cut it to a 7-point game with a 37-yarder in the third. And in the fourth quarter, the Auburn Tigers have come on to tie it. Stacy Danley with a 2-yard run. And let's go down to the sideline and get a report from Kevin Kyler.
Ron, Jim Von Weil is the kicker here at Auburn. He follows one of the great kickers ever in the Southeast Conference, Win Lyle. He kicked the winning field goal to Louisiana Tech, did Jim Von Weil, but he is not a proven commodity, just a junior. It could be a tough kick for him if it comes down to it.
Well, his teammates can help him out quite a bit. That is, if they can pick up 10 to 15 more yards. They have 50 seconds to do it. Pressure, and the ball batted down at the line of scrimmage, and I believe Bill Reagan's. Yes, the strong safety was up at the line of scrimmage, and Bill jumped high in the air and knocked it down. Seconds used on the play. Down to 45 now. As Victor Hall, a junior from Anniston, Alabama, senior tight end, comes into the ball game, and Pedro Cherry will come out. So it would suggest that Auburn will keep it on the ground on this third down play. Maybe. It is a drop play, and Florida State is there to drop it for no gain. In fact, a loss of 5 as Troy Sanders on the bottom and Marvin Jones at the top, combining to the hit. And Gary, what a decision now. This would be like a 55-yarder.
55-yard. The wind's a little bit in their face. It's coming from the side, the right side of the kicker, and it's going to be hooks it a little bit. It would not help him. But I think they got to go for it here. I mean, I haven't called any of these rights yet, so I don't know why anybody's listening to me. Here you go, Marvin Jones again. I mean, this guy is You talk about a big-time player. I mean, he accelerates through his hits. Everybody falls backwards when he hits them. It's like Mike Singletary when he hits somebody out there. But it's a 4th down play. You got to figure they're going to go for it.
Line of scrimmage is the Florida State 39-yard line. The line to make is the Seminole 31. 38 seconds left in the ball game, and Auburn with a 4th down situation.
Well, as hot as they were with 4th down plays against Tennessee a couple weeks ago, you got to say this one's in the bag for Stan White.
And for those who didn't see the ball game, what Gary's referring to is they not only scored 1 4th down touchdown, they scored 2.
And actually on that one play when they scored the other one, they had scored the 4th down play before it and had a penalty. So they scored 3 straight times. This season they're 4 for 9, and then in the 4th quarter they're 4 for 6. Here we go. Stands are just throw it in the ground now. Take a snap and throw it in the ground.
Which he tried to move it to the middle of the field, but he lost some yardage, which I'm sure that Pat Dye doesn't care about him doing, but now the situation is set. The clock is down under 10. And Pat Dye is saying, go ahead and call the timeout. And they do, with 6 ticks left on the clock. Both teams will come to their respective sidelines to talk.
Wow.
What a finish.
Stan White comes through again on 4th down. He hits Casey. I can do it when the pressure's on. That's the sign of a great one. Casey, beautiful throw. Right up high, he can catch it. And he was wide open there too, Ron.
I'll tell you something, that young man almost likes to go over the middle. He and Dossie are 2 of a kind. They don't mind bodies coming at them in a hurry. You know, that's a heck of a number when you look at Auburn. 5 of 7 in the 4th quarter this year on 4th down situation. Tennessee, 2 4th down touchdowns.
You know, and he's just done it. I mean, this kid, you know, a redshirt freshman being able to stand in this type of a situation and do this time after time again. Well, here we go. I'm just going to watch this, baby.
Jim Bunwile, 7 of 11, will let you watch, and the crowd is going to let you know if he is good or not. And he is kicking right into the faithful from Tallahassee. This is the reason that Pat Dye didn't go for 2 points a while ago.
And Weil hits it. It hooks a little bit. But boy, like it had eyes. Right in the corner. Just inside. And keeps their national title hopes alive. Look at, he hits it. He's not sure. Yes, yes, yes. Van Weil's giving it all the work, but the holder gave it away. He was looking at the referee. And the coach.
2 seconds left in the ball game. Dickinson will kick it off for Auburn, and he will kick it on the ground. That has been recovered by Florida State, and that is the ball game. Let's go down to the field. Kevin Kiley with head coach Pat Dye. Kevin, if you can hear me.
Congratulations, Coach Pat Dye. A great win. Again, you come from behind. Herbert Casey, a brilliant game. Your defense played super.
Well, we came back and played well on defense the second half. Offensively, we really struggled all night long. Florida State had a great game plan. Played a lot better on defense against us tonight than they've been playing. But we made it difficult on ourselves at times, but I'm mighty proud of our football team and for hanging in there and believing in what we're trying to do and getting it done for us.
Coach, I got to ask, you were looking at a tie game there for a while.
I don't care. I did the best. What I did gave us the best chance to win.
And you won.
And we won.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Back upstairs, guys.
Kevin, thanks so much.